Hello beings, welcome to the experience. My name is Flamino and today I'm going to show you what my experience was like spending 7 days without carbohydrates. Before this video continues, leave a little like here. You'll see in this video that I deserve it, this video is worth that like, and comment Pocahontas here in the comments. It will make a lot of sense. Okay, what a stupid idea, right? That I had to cut out carbohydrates for 7 days? Why did I do that, right? Here's the thing, I now have several friends into bodybuilding and Mr. Olympia just happened. Recently I ended up getting a lot of information about this field and I noticed that many of them cut out carbohydrates for preparation and all that. I thought, man, that's awesome, right? Am I going to do it? My life is a mess, right? I'm always experimenting all the time. Then someone suggests another one, I try that one, and then I end up seeing something and I say, wow, this could be a video, I'm going to try this experiment, and that's how it goes. And this diet has a lot of different names, right? There are several different ways to do it. There's low carb, which is just lowering your carbs a bit. There's the ketogenic diet, where you go into ketosis. There are a lot of names. I preferred to just put no carbs in the video title, but even so, there's still a tiny bit of carbs. Spoiler, I didn't go zero. To do that, I'd have to eat only leaves. So, alright, 7 days because I talked to my nutritionist and it's not something interesting to keep doing for too long. So I said, 7 days is enough, right? Actually, for the people I met who said they did it, I tell them, you're going to suffer, it's extremely unpleasant, it's not going to be good at all, you won't be able to do it, so 7 days is enough, right? So, alright, I went to ask my nutritionist for help, Mel, she made the diet plan for me. But she made something like so cute, made a bunch of little recipes, gave me options, and I said, Mel, so, right? Am I supposed to ask someone to cook for me so I can freeze it? Can I have the same meal prep for both lunch and dinner? She said, wow, but won't you get tired of it and all because it's tofu and broccoli? I love tofu and broccoli, so I said I'd rather it be the same, you know? I don't have a problem with that. She said, oh, okay, right? I'll make the same meal prep for you. Won't you get tired of the same lunch and dinner? I said I wouldn't, so she agreed. She put there a different breakfast option, an afternoon snack option, and then me, being picky, again. So honey, can't my breakfast be the same meal as my afternoon snack? Guys, I like to keep my diet simple. I don't mind not having a lot of variety. And she even got a little worried about it. She said like, hey, you're gonna put this diet with so little variety in the video and people are gonna think, wow, look at that. The diet that Nutri made is like that. Because of me, I was the one who asked for the diet to have few different meals. Well, and nothing is more fair than taking some measurements at the beginning of the diet, right? So my nutritionist came to my house, took my measurements to check my body fat percentage, to check my muscle percentage because she said I could lose muscle, right? So I wanted to see everything. Look at what I do for you guys. I'm willing to lose muscle just to show you what not to do. And then, alright, we took all the measurements. I was even satisfied with my measurements. I've gained quite a bit of muscle mass in the last few months. If you watch the old videos here, you'll see that I've gained a lot of muscle mass. I've been training properly, training and eating well. In fact, my body fat percentage is even a little higher because I recently did a bulking phase, right? I decided to gain a little more muscle mass. We have to eat a bit more too. So, alright, I started the diet. I did some shopping for what will be my diet for the week, and I'm going to show you guys. Yeah, of course not everything I'm going to eat is here. I bought this to make things easier, which is frozen strawberries. I bought 4 bags, there are 2 here. This is a plant-based milk that my nutritionist with the lowest carbohydrate content. And here are my meal preps. I haven't checked them yet. Look how cute it is. Let me show you a little closer. There's tofu, broccoli, and pumpkin seeds. And there's also a variation where some have tahini instead of pumpkin seeds. It turned out really tasty and with plenty of olive oil. Just a reminder, I ordered it for my lunch and my dinner to be the same meal because I don't mind not having to change things up between lunch and dinner. I have zero problem with repeating meals. I actually prefer it. Actually, another source of fat that I'm going to have here, along with the shake, is peanut butter. This one is from Growth, really tasty. By the way, if you need a coupon, I have my coupon so you can buy it at Growth, the best cost-benefit supplement site in Brazil. In my opinion, my friend, there's a dog barking like crazy here. And alright, I started the first day, everything was normal and all, I wasn't feeling weak or anything. I said, look, they said I was going to feel weak. I'm training legs now to get the hardest workout of the week done early. Right off the bat, while I still have strength, I went to train legs. I'm here with Renan, one more. Let's go.
Now, yes, he's already become a partner.
He's a partner now. Already called him to train. Let's go.
That's how it is.
It was funny. I called him yesterday. We're here today.
Exactly. The first time we recorded, we didn't even know each other, but got along great.
It's really quick, right? We get close to people fast.
This guy, he's really cool, so it's a pleasure to be here.
My pleasure. We're in this together. Last time I trained with him, it was legs too, right? Guess fate wants us to train legs. I'm doing legs today because I'm starting this no-carb experience, right? And also 7 days without water.
Huh?
I'm kidding.
Good. Wait, so
How will I manage without carbs? I'll do my hardest workout at the start of the week since I might get weaker later. Seja, you've been through this before, right?
who gave you this challenge, or where did you get this from?
It's a list, right?
Oh, okay.
People say do this, I'll do this today, but why?
I'll tell you that whoever wished that for you isn't really your friend. We do it, right? These are strategies for preparation, sometimes. Lowering carbs, cutting out carbs for a few days, but never for as long as it's been done for so long. 7 days is already pretty serious, and there are people who cut out carbs for even more days because there's the ketogenic diet.
Yeah, that's about it. Very similar,
You eat protein and fat.
right?
That's what you're going to eat now. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so it exists, but in practice, especially for those who do weight training, this is a diet where you end up losing a lot of muscle. So for fat loss, it's interesting because you really will lose fat, but you'll lose a lot of muscle too. Along with it, because carbohydrates are essential, they help you go through the whole process and have a different muscle response and actually be able to build muscle. So you're going to feel this, especially because you're thin, especially because your body fat percentage is low.
I'm screwed.
So you're screwed for 7 days. You'll feel it in the end. A lot of weakness. You'll be really debilitated,
7, seriously.
especially while training.
So you train your legs.
Today, pretty much all your glycogen stores will be depleted because you won't have any more carbs to replenish them now. So it's a good strategy, and at the same time it's not, because the only store you still have, you'll probably use it up today.
With this leg workout of ours,
And then you'll continue the rest of your challenge without glycogen stores, and it's going to be tough. You'll feel what I'm talking about.
but you keep giving feedback.
I want to see. Each person has their own perception, so this isn't a rule. So maybe you're an alien, a different kind of person.
Maybe I'm just normal. I'm screwed.
It's just that, wow, I've been 5 days with 0 carbs and I'm fine still doing weight training.
I don't think so.
But we'll see. I'm going to lead this workout.
Let's go then.
We're going.
Let's start with the most basic one, which is the leg extension machine. We'll do a good warm-up there, and then everyone will continue with the full workout. Let's go, good. Even though I knew I was low on carbs, I didn't want to do a soft workout. I put on as much weight as I could. And Renan still gave me a little help on the last reps, so I could handle more than I usually would, right? Because there's always that helping hand so you can handle a few more reps. And he said the weight I was using there was really good. He told me to let everyone watching the video know that he praised the weight. Then I was drinking water, because at least I have that, no limitations, right? After that, we did squats, which for me is the worst workout in the whole gym. But I really pushed myself there to at least do it with 30 on each side, right? It's not my maximum. I've managed with 40 before, but in that situation, I was already feeling weak.
That hit me. On the first one, you already feel it a little. On the second, you feel it a bit more. And on the third, you have to do 10 with a little bit of difficulty on the 10th.
I see.
That's the perfect weight and the rope. Then I'll come to you and to her, and I'll show you a different technique based on that weight.
That's why he's here, for this different technique. Over there on the leg press, he showed me a technique called cluster set. I was using a weight heavy enough to get tired after 10 reps, just like he asked me to do, get to the third set and get tired with 10 reps, and then on the fourth set. I did the so-called cluster set, where you have to do 4 sets with 5-second rests, so I ended up doing 16 reps. It's a cool technique for you to do more reps with the same weight you're using, just because there's a micro rest between those sets. We finished the weight on the hack. By then I was already weak. I had already felt like throwing up several times in the other workouts, especially during squats. So look at how little weight is on there. In fact, I tried to quit and he said, no, let's do 2 more. I was really at my limit there. I was really weak, especially when you're without carbs.
Workout finished. Thank you very much. I'm having trouble speaking.
It was really hard. Yeah, a lot of nausea.
But did you feel it more during the workout? Was it normal?
The workout was normal, but I felt it.
I did a few sets there.
Yes, it was quite different. Regarding the physical sensation, since I wasn't having perfect carbs, usually I don't feel nauseous during workouts.
That's what I told you. Yeah, your story. All of us. When you're eating well and have carbs in your diet, you build up a glycogen reserve. So today what you had, if it was just a little, I forgot.
Tomorrow, then you won't have it anymore.
Probably tomorrow you'll be much weaker.
Tired. Wow, it was normal. Like I couldn't do, I don't know, another workout. When we got there, we were feeling dizzy, really nauseous. It was really bad, but the workout was good. Yeah.
Thanks. Congratulations. Good luck.
I'm going to need it. That's it.
Let's see.
Thanks then. The first effect of the diet that I felt was nausea. I don't know if that's standard for the diet, but I'm always honest with you guys here and I report what I felt, right? That's what this channel is for. Coincidentally, on the second day, I went to Area 51, which is the gym where I work out, and I met Giovanni. Giovanni is a guy who trains really hard. He also creates content for the internet about this subject, and I said, cool.
I'm going to learn a new workout. I love learning from people who are very experienced.
Today, I'm here at Area 51 with Giovanni. Coincidentally, we didn't even plan it. He was here and getting to know the gym. I said, hey, are you free? Let's work out. And he agreed. And it's shoulder workout today to finish off what's left.
Of my glycogen, I'm already a bit weak, but let's see. I'll give my best to use up whatever's left.
We did a shoulder workout, and the second feeling related to the workout that I noticed was that I couldn't use my full strength. You know when you know the weight you usually lift and you just can't lift it? I wasn't feeling sick. Sometimes I just felt a little lightheaded. I didn't feel sick during this workout, but the weakness, my strength really went down. It really went down. And now, as if that wasn't enough, I'm still gonna make it expensive. I'm in a bet with Andres. For those who don't know, the girl with the roller skates, whoever among us doesn't come to train 5 or 6 days a week and do cardio every day and prove it by sending a photo to the other, you have to pay 3,000 reais. It's a 3,000 reais bet per week, so this way it's easy to stay focused. If you have trouble staying disciplined to do something, make a bet with your friends. It's the best way, but it has to be a bet that you can't afford to lose. I'm not going to lose 3,000 reais, so I have to make up for it with discipline and prove it. Sending a picture of the treadmill here with the time on it is a great way. It's not that cool, but it's great. It works, but alright. In my daily life, I was feeling good. I didn't feel weak. I didn't feel anything different. In fact, they said I would have bad breath, but from the start to the end of the diet, I finished the 7 days and I didn't have bad breath, no. I didn't feel a lot of the effects people told me about, like being in a bad mood, zero bad mood. I was sticking to everything strong and steady. There was even a day when I needed to plan a bit better. I went to the Pupa Tempo recently because I'm going on a trip. I needed to renew my documents, right? They stole my wallet and I had to redo my documents, so I went to Pupa Tempo, right? And then I had to bring my own food. There was no way I could eat out, right? So I brought my own food, which is pretty specific, right? I'm not going to find a place that makes tofu with 1.5 liters of olive oil and broccoli. I just woke up a little while ago and I'm already making my little shake here, right? Strawberry with milk, peanut butter, blah. And today I'm going to Pupa Tempo, right? I'm going on an international trip soon and I'm going to make videos actually. And I'm going to spend quite a bit of time at Pupa Tempo. There in Guarulhos, I think it's in a mall, so I've already made my little lunchbox here to take with me. Anyone who follows the diary knows this is common in the life of someone who is on a diet. It's not because of the experience, but because I'm vegan, I'm already pretty used to having to bring food to certain places. If I'm going to spend a lot of time somewhere, if I'm not sure there will be good options for me to eat, then for me that's fine. And now I'm going to make my little shake. I found a faster, more practical way to make the shake I usually make. I have it for breakfast and for my afternoon snack. Then I leave the afternoon snack in the shaker and in the fridge, and later I just come and drink it. And I'm still going to have my coffee, right? Because I can still have coffee. Now I'm here at the mall eating my little packed meal, and that's it, right? Now I just have to wait for my identification to be ready. The second copy. This is the hardest moment for me. When it comes to taste, I love eating at the mall. There are so many cool places. Since I was already at Pupa Tempo, I decided to take advantage. I went to work out at the Guarulhos Mall. There's a gym there, so I went, paid for a day pass. Man, I felt really sick during that workout. Then I said, look, now things are starting to get tough and I had to do the treadmill. I had to prove to Andressa, that I did 20 minutes on the treadmill after the workout. Because we're in a bet where whoever doesn't do it has to pay the other 3,000 Ries. Stupid bet, and it was my idea. But I didn't feel even a little bit of that bad mood feeling, I just felt a little bit discouraged. I went to Mr. Olympia and it was really cool there and everything, and I even took my camera, right? To do a social experiment here for you guys. But I was kind of down, kind of weak, When you just got over a cold and you're not 100% yet, you still don't have, you want to do things, but you're kind of lazy. That's how I was. I came to the event, to Mr. Olympia, to record, but I'm really weak. I'm feeling down like this. It's really hot. Look at Carrie-Anne over there. Carrie-Anne, and I even gave up on recording. Hey, what's up? It's time to take the measurements to see if I lost muscle mass, to see if I gained muscle mass, to see if I gained or lost fat. Honestly, I didn't know because I didn't notice much visual difference. I kept looking for that visual difference. I kept looking at myself in the mirror often to see if I was leaner, but it's that thing, right? Since we see ourselves every day, sometimes the change is so gradual that we don't notice it. And here's an update on how it is. That's how my body is right now. Skinny, my leg is even showing some definition, that's cool. The left biceps is more defined, my stronger arm, and that's it. Calf here, almost nothing here, right? So I didn't notice anything. And then we went to take the measurements, and I would notice if something worked by the measurements. First, we look at the results from the bioimpedance scale, but the bioimpedance scale isn't that accurate, right? Especially since I hadn't been drinking water and all that. Dehydration can make a difference there, so she always does both the bioimpedance and the caliper measurement. To be sure about the result, we put everything together, she did the calculations, and we went to talk about the terrible results that came up first when we did the measurements. Here, Mel here. Some things don't make sense, I'm recording here, but I'll show on the computer that I gained measurements in some areas of the body and lost in others. Strange, but look here at this terrible result. I lost muscle mass and gained fat, and I followed the diet exactly. There wasn't much difference, right? Because I only did it for 7 days, right? Good thing, because I suffered for nothing. Can we see it here? Look. The waist gained a little more, the abdomen lost a bit, but you have to remember that you get a bit dehydrated. Oh, I do this without drinking water too, right? So I do the first measurement without drinking water, right? Just an extra point here. She's been my nutritionist for a long time, and I've already done a regular diet with her to get on with life, and I lost a lot of fat. In 1 month, I managed to lose 4% body fat and still gain muscle mass. With a regular diet, I can get excellent results, and I follow it exactly, right? So it's a good reference because I follow it strictly and it works. Guys, I'm here now with Mel. She's going to talk a little about the diet, and I'm going to ask some questions, which would be very valid questions that people would already ask in the comments. Mel, first question. Do you think this is a valid diet, any kind of situation? Yes, actually it is a diet. It's a protocol. It's not meant to be used by just anyone, but it can be valid, yes. Mainly in refractory epilepsy, where the person has many seizures. It can be effective, so it's even effective for some children. Wow, really? Yes, we say that nowadays there have been more studies showing that it can also be effective for autoimmune diseases, so diabetes can also be valid, but it's not something to be followed for life. So it's a specific protocol. What's the maximum period it can be followed? In a healthy way, we usually say at most 6 months, a full 6 months. Is there any health risk doing this diet? Yes, a diet that's very rich in fat.
Actually, it's moderate in protein and very low in carbohydrates. So, when we add a lot of fat, especially in the traditional ketogenic diet, It's very rich in saturated fat, so it can increase cholesterol, mainly. So if the person already has high cholesterol, it can be dangerous. And because it's a very low-carb diet, the person can have hypoglycemia or feel unwell and lose muscle mass. We say that muscle mass is actually our savings for life. So the best thing you can do in life is to gain muscle mass throughout your life. Because there's a natural decline as we get older, so it's not worth losing your muscle mass.
This diet can provide everything we need in terms of vitamins.
No, it's a very restrictive diet, and actually even when it comes to fiber, it's very low in fiber.
It's basically because there are almost no fruits.
It's low in fiber, and actually it can even have a harmful effect on our intestines.
Is there any health benefit, or did I just mess up and won't get any benefit at all?
Actually, in your case, it was a short time, so you won't have any harm.
No benefit or harm?
That's right, no benefit or harm. Since it was so brief, there wasn't time for the post to have any effect.
So, I can't say that I did a ketogenic diet?
No, you did a very low-carb diet, but you didn't actually get into ketosis.
I see.
When we follow a protocol to enter ketosis, we also monitor the patient's urine to see when they enter ketosis, and then stick strictly to the diet.
Anyway, for weight loss, you wouldn't recommend that, right? You would recommend like a diet for...
To lose weight at all, it's not a protocol because it's not easy to follow. When the person goes back to eating carbohydrates, they might retain a bit more because the body creates a state of alert. There are some people who even start this diet because they say it's more about focus and concentration. When we produce ketone bodies, it's common to feel more focused, more directed to do things. But this isn't beneficial, especially in the long term. So your body stays in an adrenergic state, and that's not good to maintain in the long term.
One extra question. A lot of people say this makes you stressed and all that, but I didn't feel any of that. Why does this make you stressed? I didn't get stressed because I didn't go into ketosis.
It's because when we suddenly cut carbs, our brain, its main fuel is carbohydrates, it's glucose, so our body, it will try to make glucose from other sources, even using amino acids from your muscles. It will break down the protein in your muscles, and you'll lose muscle mass to produce this glucose for your brain. So, another thing that happens is these counter-regulatory hormones we talk about, which end up increasing. So cortisol, adrenaline, and glucagon, they try to produce this glucose for the brain and end up increasing a lot. So the person also starts to feel stressed. This is a very important point.
Well, that's it. Thanks again, Mel, for tolerating my diet craziness. I don't know what the next one will be, but it's still going to happen. I only gained fat from muscle mass. What a crappy diet. I think it was one of the worst diets. No, there was that time I went raw vegan. Yeah, that one was bad. Well, that's it. Thanks to Mel, who helped me with the diet. And I'd like to tell you all, don't go on a diet without a nutritionist's supervision, especially this one. Don't do it. Actually, I don't recommend this diet. But the message is, the easier it is to stick with, the easier it is to be consistent, the better results you'll get. Consistency is the big secret, that's it. So if you like this video, leave a like. At least for my suffering, I deserve it. See you in the next experience.
A little bread, a little coffee,